Hi, welcome back. I'm Celeste Mumford, Creative Director and CEO of Lexi LLC. I just completed the Lexi version, or my version, of the Cherry Lola Caramel treatment. Once again, the treatment, I did not use baking soda, nor did I use apple cider vinegar. I homebrew kombucha, which is more mild than apple cider vinegar. It's less acidic and it's less harsh. So it's a smoother, more mild vinegar. And because I homebrew it, I have it in abundance. So I use that instead of apple cider vinegar for the Cherry Lola caramel treatment. So I rinse that out. And after I rinse out anything in my hair, I follow it with an ionized acid water rinse. So strong ionized acid water. It can only be created from an ionized alkaline water filter, in which I have. So every rinse, the last thing I use is the ionized acid water, which I'll talk about more in another video. However, okay, so I rinse my hair. It's clean. It's, it feels nice. And now I'm going to apply a clay treatment. One thing about clay treatments that I noticed in our community, in our natural hair community, everybody takes hold of what the person before them does, which is great. It helps promote products, which me as a maker, I get. I would love for someone to try my products, love them, and say, oh, you have to use this. But there are so many different types of clays. For the most part, you hear about Rasul clay, sodium bentonite, or calcium bentonite, which I'm sure are well and work well. However, as a maker, I have in my arsenal of clays about 10 different clays. So I'm not limited to those three, Rasul, sodium bentonite, or calcium bentonite. I try all different clays. But what I'm going to use today is a mixture of Hungarian Moor Mud. So this is a nutrient-rich mud, Hungarian Moor Mud, which they use at spas. It detoxes, it detoxifies, it cleanses. So this is a good mud, and plus I put some other things in it. So I'm gonna apply this. And what I do, just like I apply everything the same way. You see these grays? Look at them. They're pretty straight now, but as I continue with the process, they will become more defined, like this part. Okay, so I apply. Now this is the messy part. I'm gonna try not to get it all over, but here goes. I apply it at my scalp, rub it in, comb through. Once again, it's a thin texture. And with it is definitely ionized acid water. That's the only water I use for my hair products, on my hair, and even in my skin products. And why ionized acid water? Because it is pH balanced. I've read different reports, but what they mostly say is that your hair has a pH of about 3 to, let's say, 4.5. And most of the products that we use are more alkaline. So we don't want to alkalize our hair. We want to use an acid on our hair. So ionized acid water helps to bring down the pH to more of an acidic level, which is more in line with our hair and our skin. So that's the only water I use. I'm going to apply this. I don't know why this side, when I put it on this side, becomes more messy. Another thing that I don't do, I really try not to really dry my hair after I put in the ionized acid water. I, try to wipe off my face and my neck, but I want this water to absorb in my hair. Another benefit of the ionized acid water is that the microclusters are about half the size of tap water. So that means that because the microclusters are much smaller, it penetrates your hair a lot better, which means it hydrates a lot better. So you see, I can't wait till my curls look like that without anything on them. So I apply it, rub it to my scalp. A little bit running, not much. and comb it through. I'm going to try to do this fast so I don't make a really big mess. Right? Massage it in. Right, then you go to the top here. Rub, 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 rub-a-dub-dub. I massage. I comb through, make sure I get every strand saturated. All right, put some more in. Hey, I'm doing good. Typically, this part I'm already a hot mess with clay running down my face, which I really don't mind the clay running down my face because then I just rub it in and I give myself a clay mask while I'm doing my hair. Now, one thing about clays that I've read about is that you don't want a clay to dry on your hair or on your skin because while they're wet, it extracts, it detoxifies, it pulls out. But when the clay dries, it redeposits. So what you don't want is to let the clay dry on your hair. When you rinse it out, it should still be moist, not necessarily dripping wet, because you do want the nutrients to penetrate your hair, but you do want it damp. Okay, get the back here. I rub, I massage, I comb through. And so if you look at the back of my hair, it's very well defined as opposed to, let's see here. This is the kinkier part that has more grays. And if you look here, the parts that are really gray are less hydrated. But the parts back here, which I absolutely love, 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 they're separated, the coils are clumped, and they're well defined. So give this a last massage. So once again, I encourage you to try different things according to the do's and don'ts of the max hydration method. But what I don't recommend is just being, excuse me, I was looking for my cap, is just being stuck to the regiment. Go with the essence of the method, meaning there are things that you shouldn't use, sulfates, parabens. So there are things that you shouldn't use, but they're not product specific. So go with the guidelines, but be creative in the choices. There are so many choices that you're not limited to only 3 clays. Try every clay. From what I read, Australian pastel pink clay is one of the most hydrating clays. So it would seem like if we're looking to hydrate our hair to the max, that we should find products and ingredients to support the hydration process. Okay, so this is my hair with the Hungarian Moor Mud clay in it. I'm going to bend down to pick up my cap, which fell. Going to put this cap on my head, and typically you should leave the clay on your hair for at least 15 minutes. I let it go 15 minutes, a half an hour. The key being not letting it dry on my head. But with the cap on, it will stay hydrated. Okay, so I'm going to come back after I rinse this out and go to the next step, which in my process is the leave-in conditioner. I know it's a little different than the max hydration method. So right now what I do is the pre-wash once every 3 days. I do the clay wash, I do the leave-in conditioner, and I do lanolin. And I think you'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised with the results of those. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm Celeste Mumford, Creative Director of Lexi LLC. I just applied my Hungarian Moor clay rinse to my hair, and I'll be back after I rinse it out. Thank you for watching. Enjoy today.